All right. Welcome to Love Tree Alchemy. It's our first podcast, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Odyssey.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Ray. And I kind of just wanted to start with the reason why I joined Love Tree Alchemy. And I'd been trying some other tinctures and I hadn't really felt anything. I didn't really feel any effects. And then I saw your product at the farmer's market. I think our buddy Jordy kind of connected us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I started taking your product. And what had led me to that was I was kind of just like struggling with allergies. I moved to Hawaii, been struggling with allergies for a while. I probably would put it at like a 5 or a 6. And over the course of the month, I noticed my allergies just getting less and less and less. And by the end of the month, it went from a 6 to probably a 2. And then on the follow-on months, a couple months, I just noticed it just dissipate to nothing. And that was one of the main reasons I was like, actually, wow, this stuff really works. And so that really inspired me to kind of join the operation.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and you came at the perfect time too. Being in my life right now is a lot of responsibility. I'm a single full-time dad, and the business was not getting what it needs. So to have you on the team was great, and thank you for sharing that. That's why I'm doing this. It's a passion. I love helping people. I didn't know this is what I'd be doing, and when I discovered alchemy about 6 years ago, I realized that this is it. This is my calling. You know, one of a few. I'm a father and a musician as well, but bringing quality medicine to people is really important to me, and to know how to do that is essential. So, this journey has been about 6 years now, and to bring things to people that, like you're saying, are giving them positive benefits in their life, such as the allergies. It's just that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do this for, and that's why I'm doing it in the way that I'm doing it, which is it's a slower process. It's a more methodical process, but it brings more of the medicine to the person, and that's the goal here. So yeah, thanks for sharing that.
What are some of these processes that you have really found kind of like really help preserve the quality of the medicine or the quality of what the plant has to offer?
Well, a lot of it started by learning about herbal alchemy, which is an ancient practice of extracting plants and purifying those materials into a medicine for the person. Like many of us, I've tried natural medicine that may or may not have had an effect. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, especially with a lot of things that are just over the counter. You don't know how they're made or what they're made from. But, natural medicine has always been an interest of mine and a passion. What I discovered early on in this journey is a lot of natural medicine doesn't get made in the way of a high quality extract. And there's a number of things to say about that, and a lot does. There's great companies out there that do a great job, but I've noticed that a lot of companies don't extract nearly to the extent that I do, and that's okay. But I just want to distinguish how I'm doing this process, which requires first the source material. My source material here on Maui is like a gold mine. I get to work with farmers that have been doing this for a majority of their life. They have great pieces of land that are clean and pure. They farm organically, so I get this great material to work with. Then learning how to extract that medicine in a way that retains the medicinal values. That's a whole nother step of learning that I had to go through, and that's where the lab came in. So now I have this lab of gear that allows me to create this stuff in a high potency manner. The batches are small. They're artisanal batches. I don't have a huge operation or anything, but what I create is quality, and it's the oversight from beginning of harvest to when I put it in the container. It's very thorough. There's little that happens without me very observing it. So yeah. I can go into the technical sides of things if you want, but
I actually want to talk about, we'll probably get into the technical, but I really enjoyed how you chose to deliver this. Most of the time, people just like deliver it in alcohol or some other form of sugar water, in essence.
Yeah.
But you decided to put it in honey.
Yeah.
That's like something I haven't really seen. Maybe a little, not Not really. I haven't really seen people use honey as the main carrier for the medicine.
Right. Yeah, it's not as common. You know, I actually learned this from a friend of mine, Brian Leto, and he was doing spagyrics and honey. And I immediately gravitated towards that for a number of reasons. One, it was a delicious taste. You know, I think he was doing a rose spagyric and honey. And I first tried that about 5, 6 years ago. And I talked to him a little bit about his process and decided early on that that's something I wanted to incorporate into my process. And from then on, you know, creating my own blends and honey unique to this business and using that technique has been very successful as far as the flavor. Honey is a great preservative. It has its own profile of benefits that, you know, honey has. You know, some people don't like honey, so we still do alcohol extracts for those, and we can do them in, you know, a number of different things as well. We could just do capsules and things like that, but the honey has been such a unique way of presenting this medicine, you know, from the flavor profile to the texture and the look. It's a great carrier. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of our products has, so kind of what goes into you making a blend? Because we have a couple of blends, and I've just noticed that you put a lot of time and energy into that blend and having that blend that really works for people.
Right.
So kind of like, what are some of the things that kind of led you to, well, let's just say our body blend. Like, what kind of led you to come to that formulation?
Well, it started with turmeric. Turmeric is an amazing plant, anti-inflammatory, great for circulation. Turmeric is a great supporter for a number of things. It can really take the load off the body. It supports the immune system. It supports getting rid of parasites. Amazing plant. So I started with turmeric, and learning the spagyric process, there was this realization that a lot of medicines work in tangent with each other. There's a synergistic idea that comes in when you blend turmeric and, say, ginger, because they work off of each other. They allow the anti-inflammatory effects of turmeric and ginger to be combined, which has a greater effect on the body than just one of them on their own. You know, so then incorporating Tulsi into the mix was kind of just a random thought at first, because the flavor, I knew that Tulsi had a lot of adaptogenic properties, also has its own anti-inflammatory properties and antiviral properties. So there was a kind of, I realized after picking Tulsi to try in this blend that it kind of picked me, because they work together so well, these three plants, Tulsi, ginger, and turmeric. I don't fully understand it yet completely, but there's a lot going on in the way that they are absorbed by the body and create a huge anti-inflammatory response and adaptogenic response, which is probably what really helped you with your allergies. And yeah, those three plants are readily available on Maui in quite abundance. And I don't think it's a coincidence almost that they came together like that. Yeah, the blends are definitely allowing much more effect to come through than just one on their own. You know, you have multiple compounds being combined, creating their own unique effect on the body. So, yeah.
And you've mentioned spagyric a number of times. I think, because like usually when I've gotten tinctures before, there's been no mention of spagyric on that. So
Yeah.
what makes a spagyric, and why do we not see it? Why do we not see it everywhere?
Oh, they're lengthy to make. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of processing to make a spagyric. You have to go through 3 separate extractions versus your traditional one extraction for your active compounds, which is what most people do. Active compounds are great. We need them. They're the backbone of any natural medicine. But what the spagyric offers is other components of that plant that help facilitate those active compounds to get into the body in a more holistic manner, such as the salts. When you add the salts in with those active compounds, salts are one of the separate extractions in a spagyric. They will bond to those active compounds, and the body will receive the active compounds in a much more integrated way. The salts kind of open up the doorways for a lot of these receptors and different parts of our pathways in our bodies to bring that medicine in. So you have a more potent extract essentially. And the third part of a spagyric, there's three parts. You have the essential oil. So we use a light amount of essential oil in our product too, which not a lot of people do. You have to be very careful when using essential oil too, that it's blended well, so you don't have hot spots or anything like that, because essential oil can be, it can be harmful if taken on its own. So we're not doing that. We're blending it into our medicine very well, but that component's just as important in many ways. Our brain has receptors for these terpenes, and to open up those pathways as well also incorporates a more integrated medicine into the body. So the spagyric it's all three parts of the plant, all three primary parts of the plant. You have your salts, you have your terpenes, and you have your active compounds. So spagyrics take longer to make, but they're a more potent medicine.